Let's all start by a full deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you can shake a little bit if you want. And let's make some sound of the moment, whatever sound wants to come out, just breathing in and make a tone. And it doesn't need to be pretty, it doesn't need to be with the piano, whatever tone wants to come out. Breathing in. Keep on breathing in, making sound. Listening to your own voice. What is your voice telling you in this moment? Maybe your voice is soft and quiet, or maybe it is strong and fearful. However it wants to sound in this moment, whatever message it has for you in this moment, allow it to be exactly what it is. Breathing in. A little variation of the sound of the moment is what is the sound of the moment with the piano. So you include, it's a dialogue, you include the piano sound, my voice, with your own voice. So still coming from you, what do you want to add to that? How do you want to join in that? In what authentic way can you be with what is given? The piano is given, my voice is given. How can you be with that, with your voice? Simply, same thing, breathing in, making sound, and joining in. And if it doesn't want to be harmonic, it doesn't need to be harmonic. Taking a full deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thank you for showing up on this morning, or maybe it's evening for you if you're joining from Australia or somewhere in Asia. Feel free to put your webcam on. It's all the more nice to see some faces. I see there Rachel. Is it evening for you, Rachel? It looks a little bit darker where you are.
It's morning.
Oh, I don't hear you. Maybe my sound. 1 minute. I think my sound is not going to my... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, now I can hear you.
It's 10 a.m. in the morning.
10 a.m. Okay, it's morning. Okay,
yeah.
Great.
And it is sunny outside, but I'm just not in a sunny spot of the house.
Sure. All right. Good. So good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So my name is Jacob, for those who don't know. Also, sometimes I use the name Yavin. And that name is really connected with Upala. It was like Yavin and Upala. So when she passed, I started to use my birth name again, because both Yavin and Upala were spiritual names that were given to us by a spiritual teacher. And so, that's why I started using the name Jacob again, Jacob, and that's how you pronounce it in my language, Dutch. So I'm very excited about what is to come, because the knowledge I will be sharing in Vocal Sound Healing Level 2 is, I've been sitting on it for quite a while, and I've had to bite my tongue times and times again during the Level 1 training, because I really wanted to get the foundation out there first. I'm not so much a levels guy, to be honest, but there is something to be said around having a foundation first and then going into the deeper layers. So this is why I did choose to split it up in 2 courses. So to summarize, for those who are new here and who will be taking the Level 1 together with the Level 2 as one bundle, the Level 1 is an 8-video course that has been trimmed and cut from a live taught course. So it's really like all the things that are not essential have been removed from it. So it's 8 videos that have been edited and go straight to the essence. And in it, you learn how the foundational practice works, which is breathing in, making the sound of the moment, and how you can also do that in a group setting and a one-on-one setting. And there is also a part around mantra singing, how you can hold space for contemporary mantra singing in a circle, also with clients. So it's really, it's a little bit for your own immersion, but it's especially also for people who are active as coaches, facilitators of all kind, meditation holders, yoga teachers, qigong teachers, to use the foundational practice in a group setting. The Level 2 is much, much more for your own immersion first. Most of the course is going to be for your own immersion, in the sense that you will have to do the work with your own voice first and foremost, before ever thinking of doing it with someone else. You have to really become very intimate with your own voice. So it will really become building a relation with your voice, with your sound especially, not so much your speaking voice, mainly your sounding voice. Although your speaking voice will change upon, or can change when you do really start to build a relation with it. So that voice of ours, when we use it, we often are not conscious of every emotion that is in it. We are unconsciously aware of it. It sounds a bit weird, but when someone comes in the room and they are speaking, you will immediately pick up and you'll say, "Is there something wrong with you? Are you sad?" Or, "Oh, do you have good news to tell?" You will hear, because of the tone of their voice, what the emotional layer is. And I always say the voice never lies. Words can lie, but the voice never lies. You cannot fake. If you make the sound of the moment, even if you speak, you cannot hide your emotions. Although some people would really want to try and would want to do that, it's not possible. Which makes it such an amazing tool for therapeutic work, for process work. I use it always in retreats, workshops, one-on-one sessions. Sometimes people think this is what is happening. They make the sound, and I can gently reflect to them, this is what I hear in your voice. This is what you just said. How do the two, there's a big difference between your sound and what you just said. And then people often go, yeah, right, it's actually true now that I feel into it. And then they can go to the deeper layer of what is going on. Not only that, you can pick up superficial emotions, so to speak. You can pick up if someone's happy, if someone's sad, if someone's angry. We all are very good at that. We do it all the time. Actually, we need it for survival. This is why we've become so good at it. It's become one of the ways we have started to function in the tribe, and that we need to be able to be attuned to the energetic content of someone's voice. So it's really part of our human biology. It's also very unique to humans. Like every bird, every animal has their unique language, so to speak, and often we don't know what they're saying. We can guess. Like elephants, I just come back from South Africa, and we were walking into the Kruger Park, and we met the elephants, and they were making this subsonic bass tremble sound. I never heard that before. I thought elephants made like sounds, but apparently they have much more to say. And I was asking, what do they say? And the guide could only guess. So I think that's fun. And we humans also have our language, which is the same for every human on the planet. Not words, but a layer underneath the words, which is our primal way of communicating, which came before words, I think. And as a musician, I know this very well because I have had jam sessions that people from other countries join, and we can't understand each other. But through the music, we've always found each other very easily and start to build some kind of communication. And so what I will be teaching in the level 2 training is really this, is learning how you can understand consciously and even with words what is the content of that primal language. So we'll basically become very equipped in translating. And that translation is not one-on-one. It's multifaceted. What do I mean with that? Sometimes you receive an image. Sometimes you receive a feeling. Sometimes you receive words. Sometimes you receive nothing at all. So that's where the magic is, You make a sound or someone makes a sound and it gives you information, and however it gets revealed to you, you have to work with that. And I will see to it that you get trained in as many different facets. So we will do exercises on images, on feelings, on words, on the very different ways you can start to interpret that language. But the bottom line is you finally have to find your way with it and your unique flavor. And the first part is making a lot of sound yourself, listening to your own sound and doing processes with your own sound. And that goes as concrete and simple as something happens in your life. For instance, you got an argument with your mother-in-law, or you had visitors over at your home and they just left and you feel kind of depleted. And, there's so many little things in our life that we have like questions. What happened here? You feel something's wrong, but you don't quite know what exactly. So then you will learn to make the sound of that. And you will listen to that sound. And you will get information from that sound. And before you know it, you will get clarity around that situation in a way that wasn't as accessible or effortlessly accessible or holistically accessible if you were just sitting down and thinking about it. So, yes, contemplation, journaling, all these things are very valuable, and I still do them. And I found that sound gives us direct access to the core, like what is the essence here? Because there's much clutter. Yes, I could have said to my guest, maybe it's time to leave, and I didn't, and I let another hour pass, and now I'm tired, too tired. Is that the essence? No, that is not the essence. That's a part of it. Or I could have, invited to speak less to someone. There was one person who took all the attention out of the room. Is that the essence? It's part of it, but it's not the essence. You make the sound for that evening with your friends that left you with a bad feeling. And maybe you come to a memory in your childhood where your father or mother was always talking and there was no room for you and you had no ability to... it was not, you were a child, so it was not up to you to say to them, hey, stop speaking. And it became part of your life and of how you operate. And that sound will bring you right to that essence. And then we will make space for that. We will do journey work, inner child visualizations. We will learn how to guide yourself through that, and then how to guide other people through that. And a little disclaimer, this is not a coaching or life coaching education program. It's 9 Sundays, so we shouldn't expect a miracle of this course. Life coaching and therapist education programs are multi-year programs where you really learn all the intricacies. And we can't expect this of 9 Sundays. So I do say this, yes, do it with other people if you have former training or experience. If you don't, do it with yourself. All right? I'm very clear on that because I can't teach you all the intricacies of that. That's a long, long study, which also costs thousands of dollars often because it's a year program. It's a whole year long. There's practice sessions. There's all kinds of things. So I will really focus on the sound and doing process work with the sound. And then there's all kinds of applications. So one of the applications we'll do is making, for instance, a sound of the chakras, the energy centers, and listening what is going on there, like basically doing a checkup. In level 1, we did the body scan, using the sound to do a body scan. And now we'll do it for also our energetic layer, such as the energy centers, the chakras. And then also work with that further. So in the level 1, we made sound for a part in the body, but then we didn't work with that further. We just heard the sound, we acknowledged it, and we said, I hear the sound. But now we can go further with that. That's a big part. And then there is the second part, which is using your voice to heal other people. It's a whole other ballgame. It's a whole other thing. It's like riding a bike or going on the water with a boat. That's how different these two things are. So the first is really working with the emergent. What is present there based on a question? What happened tonight with my friends? There's an energy there. You make the sound of that, you do process work with that. That's the first. The second is you need to clear yourself. You need to become the healer, the empty vessel, to receive the right sound. And you can't bring your own stuff into it. So it's like almost the opposite. It's not about what was the night with my friends about. That's your life, that's your story, that's your stuff. But then you are just empty, and we will use a technique to really empty yourself and become the clear vessel. Ask the right question to be able to channel the sound, and then the most strange sounds can come out of your mouth that you've ever heard, that you wouldn't even believe possible that you could make those sounds. Like I've experienced this myself, and like the length of you will maybe when I do it sometimes I think for 3 minutes I'm making sound. I don't count, but it feels like that, like low sounds, high sounds, because at that point it's not about you, it's about the other person there. Without ego involved, you just give the sound, make the sound that is needed for the person. And that's next level up from regular sound healing, which uses instruments. You can still have a fair degree of ego or involved when you do a singing bowl. Preferably not, because you are still, playing the instrument. But the instrument in itself will still always make more or less the same vibration, because it's the instrument making the sound. Same with tuning forks, same with rattles and all that other things. But when your voice is involved, then it's really you. So the more empty and receptible you are to what wants to come through to you, the better the healing will be. So there's a difficulty in that, there's a training in that, and I'm not going to say it's for everyone. Some people it will be easy, and for the other people it will be more difficult. But it's very nice to do, and you can't. If you set the right intention, you can't go wrong. Because if your intention is pure and your intention is to make the sound for the other person, which is now in the highest interest of the other person and of everyone, then you can't really go wrong, unless your ego gets in the way and you start having doubts and fears and you start to manipulate, or you start to think, oh, maybe it should sound more like that. Yeah, then it's not good. But that's what the program is for, to make sure that doesn't happen, right? Now, it's next level, not only in the way that it's more difficult because it's coming completely from you. Well, no, it's not coming from you, but you are the instrument. It's coming from somewhere else, but it passes through you. But it's also very, very powerful because of the dynamic range of a voice. The human voice has quite a range. If you look at notes on the piano, you actually cover most of the piano with your voice. So you'd have to have I want to use a dirty word, a shitload of instruments. I don't know how else I could say it. It's like a huge amount of instruments to be able to have the same diversity and possibilities you have with your voice. Not only that, the sequence in which you can change vibrations and go from this to that, you can't do with instruments. You'd have to take this ball and then this rattle and then this shruti box and then... So it's just a different thing. Your voice can literally go from... It's all these different timbres and high, low, whatever the person needs. And it can be pretty instant. Like microsecond, you shift your voice. So you follow the process that the person goes through seemingly. Maybe first they need just to feel welcome. And then your voice will... And now I'm not doing it real, so you won't feel as much. So it's an example, right? It's not authentic. And then maybe you feel you need to hone in on a point. Right? So yeah, it's fluent, it's dynamic, it's powerful. That's the second part of the training. It's quite a lot for 9 Sundays, so we'll dive in through it. And in the level 1, there was a lot of time for questions and answers. This is not going to be as much in level 2. So it will be a lot of teaching and practicing, teaching, practicing, teaching, practicing. And then there will be separate Q&A sessions for different time zones. Sometimes Europe in the morning, which is good for Asia and Australia. Sometimes Europe in the evening, which is good for America. It's always good for Europe. That's how we roll here. And so then there's also separate practice sessions, specific. So we'll do the class together in breakout rooms, but mainly in hosted practice sessions where you get together with 3 or 4 or one-on-one. And you get to practice together, listening to each other's sound, then doing process work with one another. For those with experience and for those who don't have experience and don't feel comfortable, there's a different avenue there. So, that's a bit of a summary. I would like to open up for questions, reflections. But before we do, let me just play a little bit on the piano to make a little break. Imagine that in every office there's a live pianist who can accompany the meetings. In between points, play a little bit. Little anecdote, I'm starting to venture more into the corporate world and do this work with companies, executives and teams, and it's really exciting. And so there's this method called Agile, and apparently, and it's one of the few things out there that already uses sound, and it's to a limited degree, but they already do it. So what they do is they use sound for voting. So they had a big congress, and that was like 1,000 people, and they didn't have the infrastructure to vote. And so one person had the idea, let's use sound to vote. And so rather than seeking unanimous vote, everyone saying yes, It was more like, what do you think of this idea? And it would be like, ooh. And then, okay, nah, that's not really, and then another idea, or it would be changed and this and that. And so, what do you feel now? And we would like, yeah. So I thought that was really cool. So, there was this moment in Kruger when there was a meeting of an executive team there, and they were working on strategy and planning and mission and vision. And so I asked them to make the sound of where they come from, where they are now, and what is the future. And so they had before that they thought that they were on track, it was good and all, but when they made the sound of where they was now, it was just this doubting sound. And what their potential was, it was like a huge sound. And I remember there was this finance guy who was more like super introvert, and he was like making a loud sound, and he was like surprised by his own strength. And then, I said, look at the difference. So what is going on here? And it was really a beautiful start of a very authentic discussion. And that finance guy said, I wouldn't usually do this, but, and then he really started sharing from a deeper place of what he felt was going on in the company and in the team. Oh, that was so cool. So this is just one of the many applications of this work. Not only therapy, not only for the deep inner child stuff. Yes, we'll be doing that, but there's a wide array. Also, what do you want to do in your life? Where is your business going? How is your money relation with money? Your relationships? So there's a wide array of applications. So I'm opening up the floor for questions and reflections. You can either just unmute or click the raise hand button. We're not such a big group, so I think just unmute yourself and start speaking.
Hi.
Hi, Rachel.
So I'm really interested to do level 1, because I feel, well, I just found so much benefit and appreciate your gift in all the sessions we did in lockdown and after. And I'd like to do more of that. And I was thinking that level 1 will encompass a lot more of that. However, I think I was confused because I thought that was still a meeting, a live meeting. And now from your description today, which has been really helpful, it's something that will feel probably fairly live, but it's used probably on video, which would still be really good because it means I can presumably do a lot more, maybe in a little bit more depth or not, of what I've been privileged to share with you and Carla. Great privilege. So
thank you.
Yeah, very much so. I'll get emotional because it's been an amazing journey. I feel I've been with you and Carla all the way along. And I had the privilege of attending a funeral with you all, so that was beautiful. So anyway, so I'm really not sure about doing level 2. It does sound it sounds really interesting and informative, and I think I would really find it useful, but I just somehow feel that level 1 is what I need to do first.
Yeah.
I believe you're starting tomorrow with level 2, and I will be really disappointed maybe not to join everybody or whoever is able to. But I'm thinking maybe you won't be doing level 2 again, though, after this time.
It is so. That is for sure. What will happen after level 2 is it will become a self-paced course, just like level 1.
Yeah.
So on video, and then probably people will have an option to book one-on-one sessions to get more deepening or some live interaction with me. But that will be at an extra. It will not be included in the course. So I think the deal level 1 plus level 2 is pretty sweet because you basically only pay 49 for level 1 if you do level 2, and you'll still get access to the replay. So it will probably, if you ever intend to do level 2, better to do it now in a bundle than afterwards as a self-paced. But I'm the first to say, if your feeling is level 2 and maybe that's what is for you right now, please follow your feeling.
Mm. Yeah, it's been really helpful to come today because I have misunderstood it. Yeah, I'll have to just really think about it and
Make some sound for it. You make the sound for doing level 1, doing level 1 and level 2, doing nothing.
I think I just won't be able to yeah. It may not be physically possible to do everything at the moment, but yeah. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm not going to carry on. I'm just really grateful to be here now.
Thank you, Rachel.
Maybe I'll come in again if I'm
all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for sharing. Other questions? I must have been extremely clear.
I would say you were extremely clear. Definitely. That was very informative. So people may be feeling the same as me. So thank you. It was really good.
Thank you, Rachel.
You impressed me so much with how articulate and clear and that you are. Thank you very much.
Well, the knowledge is ready to be birthed, and so it is clear in my mind, in my body. So yeah.
Hello, I have
Hi.
a question. I hope you can hear me because I am. Oh yeah, I
Loud
am
and
on
clear.
the road. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. So if I'm right, I missed the first part. I'm sorry. You start with level 2, and level 1 is like on your own doing the parts in the online community of your. Okay.
Correct. So the idea behind it is to give people an opportunity who have not done level 1 to immediately start with me live. Because the power is, I think, mostly in a live given course. You get to ask questions. The energy informs. Who is present will also inform part of the teaching. So there's a power in that dynamic.
I know.
And then at the same time, catch up on the level 1 videos. I do suggest to watch the first class before tomorrow evening. That would be ideal. And if you have the first class, you should have just enough information to hop on the level 2 train.
Okay. And maybe it's somewhere out there in all the information you already gave, but how much time would you think it's going to take per week?
So depending, will you do it for your own immersion or do you intend to use it in your business?
Well, now it's definitely for myself. I'm being cold, and maybe later I feel my voice wants to sound. Yeah.
So if you do it for your own immersion, there is technically speaking no other homework, or rather than one Sunday per week, and it's not every week because it's like till 17 December, so there are some off weeks also. So Sunday evening, 2 hours, the live class, and you can just do that and let it sink in. And then very doing some of that while you go about your life, not as something you need to. Oh, are you still hearing me fine? Because it froze up for a second.
Yeah, well, you're back again now, for me at least.
Okay, great. So very naturally, you will find yourself doing some of these things, not because you're planning for them and you need to make time for them, but just because you want to, and it's just happening.
Yeah, I did your first ever online course, and it helped me so much. And yeah, I can also feel that making the sound is what I do during the day. So cool. I'm looking, it's like I don't have any money spare, but I really feel I need to do it. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Wow. And I do recognize you from the online meetups, I
Oh
think.
yeah, you
I
do. Yeah.
do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're from Holland, eh?
Ja. Ik
Yeah.
ben van Holland. Ja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It
Wow.
was so nice seeing you again, and I really wanted to do that. I want to do this now with you because it's your last time, and
Mm.
I feel the calling.
Thank you, Monique. It will be a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you for joining. Also, something nice I will try is to, if there's enough people from one country, and that will most likely be for like the hosted practice sessions, maybe during the breakout rooms, during live classes also, I'm thinking about it. There's this new system on Zoom that you can have like not just random breakout rooms, but breakout rooms after you answer some questions. So what I was thinking we could do an experiment with is like to put people together in one country, that they can have the same language in the breakout room. So that could be nice. Let's see how we go, how many people sign up. So that could be fun. I saw some other people unmute earlier, so feel free to go for it. Gwen.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm really looking forward to this journey with you again. I joined your online sessions, and once in Amsterdam was really beautiful.
Ah, yeah, sing love.
And same with Monique, I really felt a call to join. Really now, I felt really being pushed.
Oh, wow.
And I feel there have been some changes these years, and I'm closing a bit with my voice and closing down, making myself smaller. So I really feel like, oh, I want to open up again in my voice and just voicing, sounding. Yeah. So I just had one practical question, and that is, do you have the dates for the live sessions already on a calendar?
Yes, I do. Should I say them now just or?
Or just put them somewhere so I can put them in my diary?
Yeah. Did you already register or not? Because I will be
Yeah.
putting them like today in the online course environment.
Oh, okay.
They will all be in the calendar. I will add them all today.
Oh, in the calendar. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And good to know for everyone, the calendar is smart, so it will show the dates and times in your time zone. You don't need to convert
okay.
anything. So that's really nice. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gwen. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
All right. We have Kylie.
Hello, I did
Hello.
level 1 with you.
Yeah,
I'm from
I do
Australia.
remember. I know. It's nice
I
and
know.
dark where you are.
Yeah, sorry about that, but it was nice to have an 7 o'clock at night, Brisbane timing. So you're going to accommodate a little bit with the chat rooms, like you said. And what time will the level 2 meetings be on Sunday?
So Brussels time, what was it? 7:30, I think. So you'll be at night, I think.
That's all right still. And is this the only one that you're doing?
So the live classes will always be on the same time, in the evening in Europe. But all the Q&A sessions and the hosted practice session, they will be on a revolving schedule, and I will also make them available in morning times in Europe for to cater also for Australia and New Zealand and Asia.
Oh, wonderful. So are you doing level 2 vocal sound healing? Did I hear someone say this is your last time of doing it?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. I already know what's going to happen after that, and it's going to be something very different.
Okay, well, I better sign up tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not. I don't do this for commercial reasons, because it would be more commercial to do it again, because people have now heard about it, and then there will be a next wave. So it would make things easy, but it's just not in the energy what feels right. This feels like for me the closing of a certain chapter, something I started with Upala, and now I have to close somehow, and then something new will be born, is being born already, to be honest, and it will always incorporate sound and music because that's just part of me. But the specific focus is now, and I will make a beautiful self-paced out of the level 2 for those who still want to access the material. But you know, life is always magical.
Of course, I can totally understand your thought process on that, because your level of authenticity is quite excellent. And to continue with such a level of authenticity, it has to have a certain freshness, I would imagine, and your creativity is quite high. I understand it totally. And what I like about this course is that it helps me with my emotional regulation. And that's what I'm teaching this next year. I'm starting a business online. So I think I need to do this for me. So I'm
Yay.
in. I will go and sign up now tonight and organise it, and I'll see you in the future.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
look forward to seeing you on one of the Q&As, and or maybe if you are suddenly awake at night, you'll be on the
Oh,
live
yeah.
class.
I definitely wake up for it as well. I think there's
Yeah.
something great about the live. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kylie. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, maybe you don't have a question, but you do want to share why you are here, or why you intend to sign up, or what drew you to this, to come to this Q&A, or maybe you already signed up and you want to share your intention. It's all welcome. We still have about 10 minutes, so let's use them.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Jacob. I'm Benedetta, and I just wanted to say hi and thank you for this meeting, for this question and answer, because I really felt the need to get to know you and hear you talking, and it's not in person, and there's full of video on Instagram and stuff, but it's different right now. And I had many questions, but all of them has been answered, and I'm really into doing it because I started using my voice in sound healing processes, and it felt so powerful. I decided I wanted to get deeper in it, and then your course appeared. So I feel I have to do it, and I will do it. And just wanted to say hi. So, and I think you will. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you
And
for listening to that call, that inner call, and following that. That's beautiful. And there's this saying, when the student is ready, the teacher or the course appears. So that happened in your case. So that's cool.
yeah, it is. And just wanted to know more about your background, if it's possible, if you feel.
Sure.
So, like, I don't know, how did you channel your method and stuff? Because I truly feel like doing it for me, but also to bring then after bring it to other people and integrate it in my work, as I'm a violinist actually.
Oh,
So
lovely.
I do things like sound dealing in nature stuff.
Wow.
And and I want to integrate it. And so I'm curious to know what your formation has been as well.
Yeah. So both my parents are violinists. So I was actually in the womb while my mother was playing in the opera, the Flemish opera. And my father was a great solo violinist. He was right on track to, like, he was being asked to join the Wiener Philharmonic and like very high level, but he got a problem with his finger, so he had to become a conductor instead, which is also not too bad. So I was always surrounded by music, by good quality music. So although I didn't have any formation as a musician myself, that was a formation in itself, just being surrounded by that, observing. So I'm a self-taught everything, actually. I didn't have any formal formation in music, piano, voice. I guess from the way I operate, I just observe, I work, I learn, I pivot, I grow from the school of life. It's like a thing on Facebook. I don't like it, but it's still it's still the truth. And my biggest learning came from my with my late wife, from being do you know about that story or nothing at all?
I've seen something on your website.
Yeah, so she had a brain tumor, and I'm not going too deep into that story right now, but there was an illness. She lost her speech, and so she was needing to make sound to regulate her emotions, and a lot was revealed during that period about everything I'll be teaching now, and in our both our effort and trying to navigate that whole period towards healing, which worked, and then she became ill again, and there was another period of surrendering to what is, and also realizing it's not because we know sound healing that we can play God. So humbling also in that, and a lot I could say, but I'm not going too deep in it right now, but let's just say my background is mostly experiential, and I do try and limit my teachings to only things I've experienced myself. So you will hear very little from me that is from books or from other teachers, which is just what I have to offer. Is it the truth? Maybe not, maybe, but it's what I experienced as the truth, at least for me, in that moment in my life.
A funny fact is that my throat hurts so much since yesterday, so I can barely talking right now.
Wow.
So funny.
Wow.
Who knows why? Today. Okay. Thank you so much, Jacob, for...
Thank you, Bernadetta, for saying hi, and see you tomorrow.
See you.
Hi, Jakob. It's good to see you again.
Hi.
I don't know
Hi,
if you
Mia Maria.
remember.
Of course I do.
Yeah, I wasn't able to join live too many times in the level 1, and unfortunately, I think that will be the same case in level 2. Also, like tomorrow, I can't join. I'm really sad about it, but I'm still, it still feels live kind of when I watch the replays. But I'll try my best to join more live. Yeah, I'm really excited. I just wanted to say I'm very excited finally for the level 2. I've been waiting.
Cool.
I think I've been waiting longer than I've knew about level 1 also. I feel like, I've been prepared for this a long time. Yeah, it's really exciting. I've also been training in Reiki since a few months, and
Good.
I had a vision or a feeling that I will be combining the two, especially making sound for other people in some time with the Reiki. And I think it's gonna be cool.
Very powerful combo. Yes.
I think so. Yeah. I just had a really boring question about finance stuff, but I think I can also just write an email about it, because I saw in the email before just now that there were some links already about installments.
Yes.
Just
So
not
if you
for only level 2.
No, if you click on the landing page and you click on level 2, because you don't need to bundle, you did level 1, so just register for level 2. And there on that checkout page, you can scroll down and you see the link to the installments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All I needed to know. All right. See you sometime, not tomorrow.
See you sometime. Well,
Yeah.
maybe next Sunday then.
Maybe.
Okay, time for one more question before we close. Maybe you are someone who doesn't speak much for a group, and now you're gonna do it anyway.
Hi, so maybe it's my time.
Hello, Monica. Maybe it
Hello.
is your time.
I also lost my voice like 2 days ago, so it's
Okay.
also perfect
Everyone's
time.
getting ready.
Ready, yes. I've been observing you for a while when you started your work. So I know your story, and I was always very deeply moved by it. And I used to sing a lot when I was younger. I was singing in choirs as well, and it really filled me with a lot of joy. Then I just went for professional life and never had time for it anymore, and my voice was a little bit gone. I also had some treatment with hormones, which kind of destroyed my vocal cords.
Oh.
So basically, I don't find my voice as it used to be any longer, but sometimes I spontaneously make a sound, and then I think maybe I'm a bit crazy, maybe it's out of my ego, but for some reason I just make the sounds and it feels good to me. So I think I also feel the calling, so I will join, and I hope to be able to, take it for myself, but also share it with others, because I believe it's a very strong tool, and hopefully it can bring some joy and maybe relief to other people as well. So hopefully see you tomorrow. Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow, Monica. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for speaking up.
Thank you.
And I see Stine He, you unmuted. Maybe you want to close? Or is it? Maybe it's nothing. Stine He?
And there's also a question in the chat.
What
If
is the
there's
question?
gonna be a recording of this session tonight or tomorrow before the class.
If this Q&A is on replay, is it the question?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think I will send this as a replay to the whole email list. Yeah. Okay, well, let me play one more minute of piano for you to close, and then I look forward to seeing many of you during the live course, if you do decide to join. And if you don't, I wish you as much the best with your journey, and whatever you do, be well, and make some sound from time to time. Let's take a full deep breath into the nose and out to the mouth. Thank you very much. See you, everyone. Bye.